Lately, I've been seeing a lot of posts of AI and the ongoing debate between what's considered right and wrong. And me, I'm just an honest bystander in the crossfire enjoying my own life far, far away from social media. I'm not an artist, and I can't draw for shit, but I wanted to throw my hat into the ring and try to make art just out of curiosity. I want to know the entire joy, the whole process, and how much I can get better through practice. Because it's just like what Bob Ross said. Anyone can paint, which also implies anyone can draw. So I tried drawing for 30 days, and this is what I had to show for it. Alright, so this isn't day 1, but this is day 0. Since I kind of wanted to get into drawing, it was very overwhelming at first since I had no idea what I was doing. And doing it live didn't really give me any favors either. But I tried, drawing something, and I think it took about 2 hours. It wasn't. It doesn't. It doesn't look too great. It is what it is. And the chat named it after Jane Football for some reason. Yeah, but they came up with it. I thought it was cute. She got an elongated neck. Day 1, I actually tried drawing off stream. And I watched like a couple videos. I watched like a tutorial on how to draw heads. That is the wrong way to go about it. I mean, all of them kind of look like crack addicts. Maybe they were in some sort of prison lineup and then you gotta identify them. It's literally what it is. It's not good. I tried drawing some anime dudes. This was supposed to be Goku. It didn't end up that way. So the first 3 days, you can see that I made absolutely very little progress. Now day 4, I made a little bit more progress. I tried to learn about the different facial features and how they're structured, or where different facial features belong so they don't look like Mr. Potato Heads. But I will say though, day 5, the faces are a little bit better. You can't say that it's not. Day 6 though, I feel like I had a bit of a breakthrough. That's the point where I thought about, instead of just watching videos, why not just look at different references? Or look at different types of art from like other people who've drawn it before, and then I can study them a lot better rather than following a tutorial on how to draw different spheres or a perfect circle. Yeah, I tried, drawing one crying, maybe just to add some emotion. But right now they kind of look like dolls. But better than Funko Pops. Since I'm drawing more from like references, I tried working on like different types of hairs and different types of facial features. Maybe add some accessories to them. Make him look très chic. I don't know what that's called. But, I tried to make them a little bit more humanized. Even though they don't really look all that human. Day 7. I tried drawing like the whole bodies now, the different proportions of what a human should look like if the camera can focus. The way I thought of it, and the way that everybody tries to teach you, is that you gotta think about the body in different sections and different shapes. Like maybe the torso is like a square, and then the boobs are spherical. Even though in reality they're not spherical, they're mostly saggy. This isn't to be offensive or anything, but I tried giving her some character. For day 8, I tried drawing the hands, and this was such a struggle. One video that taught me for like fingers and all that is that they don't look like sausages. Alright, they don't look like the wieners in the hot dogs. They're supposed to have joints, like this, like we have joints. We bend them. One thing I've learned is you don't really have to study the anatomy per se. You don't have to study like the different bones. I'm sure there's like over 300 bones. There's like one bone for the private part that most people don't draw, so there's that. Day 9, it was also kind of the same thing. I tried drawing like more side views and, more front views. But this was more so not from reference, but drawing from my own. Well, not to say imagination. I don't really have much of imagination for anime girls. But I would just draw what came to my mind and what I thought of like anime girls, you know, the hair and all that, and like the body and the facial. Maybe not like the hourglass, but usually in anime you don't draw fat people. I'm just saying. So I actually looked at references, and you know, I looked at more videos on how to draw, you know, girls, and me. I tried drawing myself from like a side view too. It's not perfect, but it is a better sketch than compared to day 1. So yeah, day 10. Instead of anime art, I don't know if this like is the same thing as it. I tried going into chibi art styles, which, you know, they usually have big eyes, which is the same exact thing as like anime. You know, all the guys and the girls, they have big eyes and shit. So for the stream that I did, we drew this. One thing I looked at, and it kind of explained it, is that the clothing, it has different movements to it. So you'll see like there's some of these like holes here, and it makes it so that it's like flowing. It's not just like motionless, high on like meth. So these are just like drawing from references, and I feel like for animals they're definitely a lot more easier to draw. If it's not like it's not the full anatomy of an animal and you're just making it look cute, this is kind of what you would expect. So this is day 12 and this is day 13. Since I'm not like drawing every single day, I'm just drawing whenever I have time. Like when you get home from work like 9 to 5, you don't want to like stop everything and then draw because you have like other responsibilities you have. You know, maybe not every day you have the time to do this. Now this is day 14. Don't ask me why I drew this, but I was curious. So I forget like the style of what people call this. It's supposed to be very, you know, people who are into like the whole, you know, anime porn stuff. This one I kind of had to look at a reference while also looking at their face and drawing the face first. I don't know how people would draw the entire character. Maybe they start from the ground up and then draw the head. But I started from the head and then I drew the body. But one big thing is that for looking at references, I looked at the character themselves, like the head portion, and then I looked at the body. But for the body, I looked at a different reference. So a different pose. So day 15 and day 16, I tried drawing myself. Yes, I look beautiful. I look so crisp. Look at those sparkly eyes. Oh. Yeah, not so great, but I've been drawing women for the past 2 weeks. And I figured that since I'm drawing them, I might as well keep drawing them. So day 17, I wanted to, more than anything, I kind of wanted to get better at the hair. And I watched a couple of videos on like how to improve like the hairstyle. I saw one that talked about hair and not being like a grass. You shouldn't draw grass, except the only thing you should do with it is touch it. Day 18 is very simplified. I tried drawing like a chibi again. This was like for a thumbnail. It looked like bug eyes. Like, it's not great. This is day 19. I wanted to draw like a full body of them, but I did not have enough time. Everything from their hair, like just the way that it was designed. There's like so many curves, so many, what is it, bangs? I feel like it's not there yet. She doesn't look like she's alive, you know. For day 20, I tried to go big here. I thought it'd be kind of cool to just draw the hair connecting to like a different piece of paper, but you know, maybe the idea is there, but the execution, it's not there. This gave me like the most trouble, trying to draw something that looks cute. I don't know why, but it just looks off to me. But for day 21, it's kind of like a huge jump in detail. I worked on this for about an hour. The majority of me working on it for an hour was just figuring out the type of hair that I wanted to put on it. You know, like when you make a Sims character and you spent like an hour on this build a sim creator. Oh, this one was like a big one for me. I tried drawing a character from, I think it was called Spy Family. I went to a store one time. It was like a more feminine store, and they had these gacha machines. You know, where you put in like quarters, and then you turn the thing. And inside those gacha machines contain those little balls, and after you roll it, you get one of those balls, and you get like a mystery toy. And I got one of those. So yeah, I got this from a gacha machine. You'll notice that she's in cryostasis mode right now. Like she's sleeping happily inside her pod. The eyes, I had to look up a guide for that. That was somewhat difficult to try to draw the eyes because a lot of the tools they used were like somewhat fancy, and I had none of that. I just had like a regular number 2 pencil that you take like the SATs with, you know, this. But one thing that I feel like I got a little bit better at was drawing the gestures. You know, like they're actually doing something to make them a bit more humanized. So for day 23, I wanted to try and draw more angled faces that are looking in different directions. I didn't want them to like look at the person that was drawing them. You know, I feel like them looking at an angle gives them a bit more personality. And I think this one came out really well. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. You kind of need structure. You kind of need to draw, you know, the sphere, and then you need to draw the line. If you don't do that, then it just kind of ends up weird. Hands up! So this one, for day 24, I tried drawing a character from Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah, I tried drawing the gun. Everyone's favorite VTuber asset, the gun. I think it came out okay. Like, it's not bad. The gun looks weird, though. But yeah, I forgot the character's name. I'm sorry. People who play that game probably like, how dare you forget her name? So for day 25, I kind of regressed a little bit. I know this one was a tad bit extreme for me. I wanted to experiment, and I wanted to try to draw different angles at which, you know, when people turn their heads, they aren't just like one-sided. They're not just like two-dimensional. You know, everybody has 3 dimensions. They ain't like tripolar or bipolar, but everyone has different sides to them. Day 26 is kind of the same thing. I tried drawing this like elf chick from an anime. That's why she looks so weird. I forgot to draw the elf ears, that's kind of my bad. You'll notice that the forehead is actually pretty big. It's wide enough to actually put something on there, you know? It'll grab like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So I noticed like for the forehead, I can actually put stuff on it now, you know? See? See? For day 27, this one I didn't draw from like reference or anything. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better when it comes to drawing from my imagination. It's not bad. I also tried working on the eyes. For the eyes though, you really have to look at videos or look at the references to get better at them. Day 28 was a bit of a bummer. Alright, this was not my best work. This is what happens when you try to experiment, but you have no idea where you're going with this. There's like any artist that can take a look at this and then go, nah, Froggys, I'm gonna undertake that challenge. I can redraw this. I can make her look good. This is where I tried looking at drawing the eyes a little bit better. More importantly, just taking a look at how the eyes should look when someone's looking to the side. And I feel like I've gotten that down, because if you turn to the side, you know, your eyes aren't gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same shape. And I also drew like a bit of, you know, fan service, just to make sure some people looking at this are included as well. Day 30, I saw an image on Google while I was like browsing anime girls, and I saw this like one image where they were like grabbing on their hair, you know, trying to appease all the fanboys out there. And I decided to use that as a reference. I wanted to try and maybe experiment a little bit with it. I don't want to like copy one-to-one. So for the hair, I kind of just went with like different hairstyles I saw from Google as well. And for the purple, I just did it because, I don't know, it just reminded me of somebody. So day 0 to day 30, this is the final product. A big thing that I've learned from all this is that if you're watching this right now and you don't know how to draw, you gotta get your ass off and then try to draw. Don't just sit there and do nothing and just say, I want to draw someday. You gotta put your nose to the grindstone and you gotta attempt to draw something before you can get good at it. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm just saying that in order to get better, you need to put in the work. Just be consistent in the way you want to do it and when you want to do it, but just make sure that you get practice in. Oh, thank you for watching, and bye bye everybody.